Okay.
Size. Oh my God. Literally. Literally number 5.
Episode 5.
Episode 5.
We made it 5.
We made it 5. And we're going to talk loud because we have no microphones today.
They were crappy. So
They were,
we bought new ones.
yeah,
It's gonna be fine.
It's going to be fine.
It's gonna be fine. We're learning. We're growing.
Yeah. The dryer is
Sorry, it
ready.
just went off.
This
This is real life here.
Yes.
Real life.
But that's it. So episode 5.
What are we
Literally
talking about?
We're talking about real life. Real life.
What we just talked about.
And we talked about a lot today, just in general, bodies. Just using
The body you have.
the body you have
Today.
today.
Your body
Yesterday,
is enough.
Yeah.
As it is.
it is.
Which is something I'm having to work hard to remind myself in right now. We talked about this at lunch. I have been a lot of sizes throughout my lifetime. I am not at a size I'm comfortable at right now. I don't feel strong in this size. There's nothing wrong with this size. It's not for me. I feel stronger, more comfortable when I'm a little bit bigger. I've lost a lot of weight recently, not because I was trying, but because I have. And it's about and I see, so I guess because I've been a lot of sizes, I can see both sides that, people think, well, I'm too big and, I can't do all of the stuff that you're doing because I'm too heavy, which I think is bullshit. But also people that are smaller and feel weak, like I feel right now, I can still do the things. I just am not as comfortable in doing them. Yeah, I think you get both sides of that. But probably what I hear the most is, especially when we film these on Fridays, by the way.
Yep.
Fridays are our advanced class. I don't even like to call it that because it's an invitation. It's an invitation to try new things. And it is probably something I have heard so often throughout my entire teaching experience. When you go into arm balances or getting upside down, that I've heard people say to me over and over, well, I'm too big to do that. And that's bullshit.
Yeah, I'm overweight or I don't look like what I see on the internet, or I'm not the same. Like someone said today, you make that look so easy.
You know why? Because I've been doing it for a long time.
I've been doing it for years.
It wasn't easy when I started.
It was not. And
It didn't have anything to do with your weight.
not at all. Yeah, I was.
But I think they see it that way.
Yes, and it doesn't. I was telling someone this the other day. They're working on middle splits, and I was like, "Do you have these splits?" And they were like, "No." I was like, "Dude, I couldn't imagine going straight pancake in the very beginning." I was like, and I was just telling them, well, it's so crazy because some people see you just do it and they're like, man, that's so easy. You make it look so easy. But bro, I've been working on this for 3 years.
Yeah.
Or I've been working on this for a year,
Yeah.
and it
Every day.
every day. And that's what they were saying.
I consistently fails for a year or 2 years. I love to tell the story of your pincha journey because people talk about it. It's so beautiful. And it is. It's stunning. It's beautiful to watch you do it. However, what they missed is I've had a front center audience view of you working towards pincha. Lots of falls, lots of the failure. You have to be willing to fail. So it's become my new favorite line when people ask me how do I get that? Whatever pose it is, how do I get that? You have to be willing to fail.
Oh, yeah.
And over again.
For sure. And meeting yourself where you are. Maybe today I'm just trying, I'm working towards it. Cause girl, when I first came in these doors, there's no way.
I mean, I made you do flip dog.
Yeah. Well, I was terrified. But I was and that's another thing that so many people that walk in these doors have never seen is a very small, very fragile me.
Yeah.
They're like, man, Michael, you're skinny. If only you knew how skinny I really was a couple years ago, which you did see, and how weak and I felt weak. And I feel strong now. I can see how strong I am now. But I feel stronger when I have weight on me, when I have muscle on me, even though it might be harder to get my rounder butt up in the air. it's become easier for me because I've learned to accept my body for where I'm at.
Yeah.
Like I can do that. I'm comfortable with where I am. So I'm comfortable with the fact that I can try this new thing. And I feel like whenever you're not comfortable right with ourselves, how am I supposed to be comfortable here on my mat to try something new?
Yeah.
And when you're not a way that you want to be, in that whole thing, you're like, I'm just not good enough.
Yeah.
I'm not enough. I'm not. Well, I'm
Well, I
not.
think I think the key is, and it says it on our door, come as you are.
It does.
You just have to start.
Yeah.
You just have to start. So, when I started yoga, I was very small, and then I gained a lot of weight and I felt stronger
Right.
on my mat. Then I was able to explore new things and I did more things. And I think that's why it bothers me so much when people are like, "Well, I'm too big to do that." No. I'm doing the teacher training right now, and we just did anatomy this last week. And it talks about like your bones adapt to hold and bear the load you're carrying at the time. So that sentence is actually null and void. When
Yeah.
people say, "Well, yeah, it's easy for you because you're small to hold all of your weight up on two hands," but the reality is, you can hold your weight, whatever your weight is. Your bones adapt to do it. So really, what's probably happening if you go to try it is the fear that stops you. Fear still stops me. It still stops me in different things. It gets in the way, and I have to put like that into check. It's not your weight. It's not how strong you are. Like I said, I was telling you, you can get on any social media, and if you look for it, you will find some people doing stuff I cannot do. Some really cool stuff. And it just goes to show you, like, it doesn't have anything to do with the weight.
No.
At all, period. I feel right now in my practice right now, I can do less because I'm smaller right now. And that's okay because we're going to get it back.
That's right.
I'm going to gain it back. But I am very small right now. And I'm actually weaker on my mat. So I can't do as much as I felt like I could when I was bigger. And I think for some people, they don't understand that. They think, well, if I just could lose some weight or something, which is bizarre to me. I know where I feel good. I know where I feel strong and feel comfortable. And that may not be like a weight or a place that other people feel comfortable, and that's fine. But I feel strong like at a certain weight. And so I'm below that weight right now. I don't like it. And we've had lots of conversations about it. Bless you for just building those
Yeah.
conversations for me, because I'm literally just talking about like where I am right now and how it affects my practice. And I think for some people, the way they view it, that would be a good thing.
Like, oh my
Right.
God, you've lost all this weight.
And
What's your secret?
and I hear that. I hear that all the time right now. And I don't like it because I'm not trying to lose this weight. It just happened. And on my mat, like, it's affecting my practice in a way of I'm not as strong as I was before. I was sharing with you a story. I wanted to make sure and share it here too. Several months ago, that I got a message from someone on social media, to the studio page, and they sent and said, like, "Hey, I really want to try yoga. I've never done it before, but I really want to try it. I went through and I looked through your social media, and I don't see myself in any of your videos." And they, kind of went on to explain, like, I've lost, a bit of weight, but I'm still a little bit overweight. I don't have any cute yoga clothes to wear. I just don't see I can't do the things that I'm seeing in these videos that you're posting. Would I fit in here? Do I have a place here? And it broke my heart. I mean, I just started bawling because I thought that is never what I want to present. And I think when I look back, what was happening at the time, I was filming classes. I teach the heated classes.
Power.
I teach the power yoga classes, and they're accessible for anybody. But I happened to, at the time, I had a lot of students that had been coming for quite some time. So they've been working on these things for a long time. And if you're working out constantly, you tend to get in shape. That's just part of the deal. Now, in shape looks a lot of
Oh, so yeah, it doesn't mean that you're losing weight.
no, in shape
Yeah.
looks a lot of ways. For me, in shape to me means getting stronger.
Right.
No matter what my weight is. And so, like, it broke my heart to see someone from an outside view looking at these videos, and that's what she saw. And bless her that she felt comfortable enough to send a message to say, I don't recognize myself in anything that you're posting. Do I have a place here? Would I fit in here? Is it okay for me to come? Absolutely. It's okay for you to come. Please come. Um, but yeah, I mean, I just at the time, I think I got so caught up in like the students that were coming at the time, they've been working towards all this cool stuff. And we've said it on here before, and I'll say it again. I think you are awesome if you are getting upside down. I think you are awesome. And you're a badass if you're trying to perfect a warrior one, like one of those basic postures. I think you're amazing either way. You don't have to be doing cool things. I just happened at the time to be having a lot of students that had been working on different arm balances, getting past the fear of getting upside down. And they were like starting to nail some of that, or at least getting closer to where they were trying to get. And I wanted to showcase that for these people. Like, you are so strong. Like, look at where you've come
Look what you did.
from where you were 6 months ago of working, and it's showing up here. And it broke my heart that someone from the outside looked at that and thought, I don't know if I have a place there. Because everyone starts as a beginner. Literally everyone starts as a beginner at yoga.
Yeah.
You don't know anything when you started. I like to tell people because it's the truth. My first few classes, I felt like a flopping fish. That's
A great way to say it.
I literally, I was just looking around the room, and I felt like I was just flopping all over the place trying to, replicate what I saw. And as a teacher now, I still recognize that's one of the best ways that I can tell people when it is their first time. I don't teach from a mat. I don't want to get so involved in my practice that I'm not paying attention to my class. So that is the best thing that you can do. Look around, replicate what you're seeing the best that you can. When I started, I didn't have a teacher that taught from her mat. So I was just looking around, and it was all levels of yogis in that room. I had my dad beside me, who's, a bigger man. In front of me was one of the most advanced yogis that I still have ever met in person.
Right.
I mean, you see cool stuff online, but in person was doing all kinds of stuff. And I was just, I don't know if I'll ever do that. And I can do some of that now. Still can't do some of it. And that's okay too. But I think you hear so much as a teacher about you use the body as an excuse. And really, your body is just a tool that you are using to find movement that you need to get you to a place of meditation. I mean, is essentially that is the goal.
Your journey throughout your practice, whatever it is to tire out the body for Shavasana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the poses are not the goal. They're cool. They're cool. And I utilize those as something to obtain a target, a goal, whatever you want to call it, but it's not the ultimate goal.
Right.
And, so if you look at the 8 limbs of yoga, the asanas are only one. It's
Literally.
it's only one.
Yes.
And all of these things were created in order to, what did we say at lunchtime about,
Oh,
I'm
girl.
not gonna be able to say it now. See, this is why
It just happened?
we should just film our lunches at the Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, we just
Film
put it on
our
the table.
sitting at the table. But yeah, we were talking to relief from suffering. So, like, you literally move through all of these postures, you tire the body out, you tire the mind out, because once the body gets tired, then the mind gets tired out. So, you do all of these things in order to find that pure bliss in Shavasana. And that doesn't happen until everything else can shut down. If
Straight
your
up.
chakras are not open and ready, your body won't physically allow you to do it.
And I feel like that comes into, I mean, meeting ourselves where we are.
Yes.
I mean, wholeheartedly.
Well, that's your root chakra.
Yeah,
That
like
starts at your root chakra. That is your safety. That is your feeling like home. And then that moves up from there. Like your sacral chakra, that's your playfulness, your creativeness. Well, how are you getting into all of these poses if you don't tap into your creativeness, your playfulness, your willingness to fail, to your solar plexus, which is your confidence and your willpower and all of these things? Like, if you don't have those in check, your body's not going to allow you to do something. Probably the biggest example that I can give of a chakra not allowing your body to physically do something is your heart chakra, because it's one of the biggest poses, like back bending, heart opening poses, like wheel pose, camel pose, things like that. Your body, if you energetically are not open in your heart chakra, you cannot do a wheel pose. You cannot.
that makes so much
It won't
sense.
allow you. It won't allow you to.
Right.
Because you're so guarded here, it won't allow you to open.
Open.
Doesn't mean your body couldn't physically do it. It means your body won't physically allow you to do it because you are so guarded here.
Because you're guard. And I think a lot of people too. I mean, I know we talked about this before too. A lot of people come to get an exercise, and that's great. I mean, but that part of yoga might really be what's missing in a lot of people when they're like, oh, well, I'm too large, or I'm too small, or I'm too broad, or I'm too whatever. It might not even be a physical issue. It might simply be internal, how we think of ourselves and what we may have or may not have processed in these different parts of our body.
Yeah.
And a lot and that's so overlooked. And I feel like, especially what you see online, I don't know, my algorithm is full of yoga. I mean, just that's just what it is.
Mindfulness
Yes, and that's what
and
it
travel,
is.
because I love to
Yeah, and I love
travel.
I'm ready.
That's what my algorithm is.
But like so much of the yoga that I see online is it's some of it I do. Some of it's quite a bit of the, in-depth part of yoga. I feel like social media in a way can really affect how we show up on our mat in the body that we have.
Yeah.
And that right there blocks this energy that's running through us because we're like, we are already coming in
Yeah.
with an expectation. And well, we're like, I definitely know that I don't look like that person that I saw on the internet who's doing all these crazy things in this perfect outfit with their hair slicked back. So when I come in these doors, I'm already not going to be able to do what I'm not going to do it. And coming in with that expectation, you're already closing down,
Yeah.
protecting all of that
Yeah.
really want to help kind of open and alleviate.
Yeah.
Which potentially leads you to be able to do so many things that I feel like whenever you start believing in yourself,
Yeah.
it opens up that can of worms, I guess you could say, that takes you to the next step. Whether you are small, large, short, tall, wide, thin, you're able to do it if you believe.
Yeah. Well, so like everyone has a voice in their head and it tells you certain things. That voice is not you. It's not you. You hear it. So what yoga teaches us, if you really get into the nitty gritty, if you go into all the limbs of yoga, what all of it teaches you is that this voice in your head is not you. You are the person that's observing this voice. You are the person that is observing. So, right, we're taught like our bodies are not ours, our all of these
Right.
things
Yes.
are not ours. There's you, and then these are things that are on loan to you, right?
Yes.
That can get real woo woo, and I get it. But just think of, even if you could just look at it as learn to have an audience perspective, right? If you go to a movie, you don't know what's going to happen.
No idea.
I'm actually pretty good at
Guessing.
guessing. I am. I am one of those. But if you think about from an audience perspective, like you don't know what's going to happen until it does, right? So if you can learn to have an audience perspective in your own life, okay, everyone has a voice in their head and it tells you all of these things. How negative that is, how positive it is, that all has to do with your filter, your life experiences, what you've brought up into this point. And if you can learn to have an audience perspective of this voice in your head, you are not that voice. You are the person observing the thoughts that are going on in your brain, right? We have all kinds of thoughts. When you are in I'm going to try to give several examples. When you are in a twist, if you are thinking a belly is hanging out and it's all folded over, and all the things, that's a voice in your head. That's not you. When you go stand in line and the person in front of you is taking a really long time and you get frustrated, oh my God, why can't he get it together? Why can't he figure it out? Why can't he? Whatever. That's a voice in your head. And if you can learn to have an audience perspective of that voice that's happening, that narrative that's happening in your head, you can step outside of that narrative and observe, why do I think that way? What is happening within me, actually me, that's making me view it this way? And so when you come to your mat, that voice in your head gets real active. It does. It gets real active, especially when you go to try new things. And that voice is what's telling you, well, I'm too heavy to do that. If I lost some weight, I can probably do that. I'm too heavy.
My belly's in the way.
My ass is too big to hoist up in the air. Like those are that is the voice in your head. That's not you. You're the person observing that voice. So if you can realize that, then you can start to change that narrative.
Right.
Because you don't really have the voice is going to come. You don't have that much control over it until you recognize that is not me. I am the person observing those thoughts. What am I going to do with those thoughts?
I like that. Some people, I could see it. As soon as someone said, you make that look so easy.
You didn't see the 2 years that I've spent working on that. And I've done it 500 times by now.
Yes.
I failed for 400 of those.
Right.
Now I have done it successfully 100 times.
And how much in my head, I don't just got it. Do not. Sometimes I know I do it a lot, especially when I go into pencha or arm balances, especially whenever I try and I'm not there. I literally pause for a minute and I'm I just have my arms down. I'm you got this.
Yeah.
Why are you stressing?
You're changing the narrative.
Yeah, I got this.
Because what is the voice in your head actually telling you?
You're
You
gonna
can't do
fall.
that.
Yeah, it's just, why are you trying this?
Your butt's too big.
Yeah.
Nothing in the air.
Exactly. You're not strong enough.
Yeah.
Just all those things that they do. There are tons of negative thoughts that run through my head that are you're not going to be what you want you to be. And that really has gotten in the way of a lot of things. And so taking a pause, step back and be no, why are you tripping? Take a second, breathe. You've got this. You can do this.
Well, you started utilizing the other 8 limbs of yoga to get there without even knowing. And that's what Glenn and I, one of my instructors, we talk about often. The magic of yoga happens even if you don't understand it.
Right.
Even if you don't know what's happening, it's just the magic of yoga. It works whether you know what it is or not.
Mhm.
That's one of those examples. You are utilizing breath work, your pranayama.
Yes.
You are coming back into that mindfulness. You are coming back into letting go of possessiveness over the pose. You are coming back to nonviolence. I'm not going to talk negative to myself.
Yep.
You're coming back to all
Swing.
of these other limbs of yoga to go, okay, I may not get this. I may not. And that's okay.
That's
Today,
fine.
I couldn't get a pose I've done 100 times. Couldn't do it today. And instead of sitting there and letting me self-observe, beat myself up, change the narrative. Let me come back. I don't know if you saw it. I came to my heels. I sat there. I put my hand over my heart. I put my other hand over my belly, and I sent my breath. Let me come back to my breath. Let me come to the other 8 limbs, because you know what? This limb right now, it's frustrating me. This physical asana practice right now, it's frustrating me. And because I know I've done this pose 100 times.
Right.
This fallen angel on one side. I did it on the other side impeccably. Did it impeccably. Awesome. That's great. I Went to the other side. No, not today, ma'am. Not today. We have a lesson to learn instead. That's essentially what my practice told me today. We have a lesson to learn today. So you can either get frustrated and learn nothing, or you can utilize what you tell everyone else to utilize and come to the other limbs.
Right.
This physical practice is not the be all end all. It is the cool stuff physically. It's the cool stuff.
Right.
But you know what else is cool? Breath work.
Breathing.
Breath work is cool.
Yes.
Being able to come to a place of, okay, I am observing these thoughts that I'm having in my brain. I'm aware of them. I'm going to let them pass through. And then I'm gently going to ask them to leave because I'm not creating these thoughts. They're just what's happening in my head and I'm observing them. I don't like them. I don't like them. So I'm going to come to my breath for a little while. And I'm going to work on some of the other 8 limbs while we're here so that I can come back to the rest of the physical practice in a better position, better mindset.
Right.
Um, and I did. That is essentially what I did today. Now, do the people beside me understand what's happening? Probably not. But if you listen to me as a teacher, it's what I'm telling you to do.
Right. I feel like we get caught up in the asanas, and that's where we get caught up in our bodies. Like, oh, well, I can't do this because my belly's in the way, or I can't forward fold
But if
because
it's your chakra and not your actual body,
even what
that's
is the other
side of your body.
yeah, or the other other 8 limbs. How's your breathing? Have you released, just like today, non-excessive, non-possessive? Have you released all the crud, all the negative, all the bad stuff that you've told yourself to create space for all this new stuff that you want to bring into your life? Because until you do that, well, no wonder, because there's so much more that goes into it. And once you create space, there it is. Yoga can really be what you want it to be. I mean, it can be a physical journey, right? I mean, it really can be a physical journey. However, to really get out of your mind and trust your body to be able to do these things, I mean, you could totally come in here, which we do. We have people come in here and power through some stuff.
They want to work out.
They want to find out, and that's cool.
That's fine. Because you know what? The magic of you is working even though
It's
they don't
working.
know.
And they don't know, yeah. I don't know about anyone else's experience, like as a studio or as a teacher or even as a student, really. Would love to hear it. But like as my experience as a student and a teacher here in this space, or even at the gym, like just watching people progress, you can tell that they're working on something internally.
Yes.
They're not just showing up. They're not just coming here and being on their mat. They're starting to communicate more. They're starting to converse a little bit more with the people around them. They're starting to ask questions, and not just like, oh, how do I do this? But they're like, man, they're just diving deeper. And they're trying to figure out, well, how do I get there? What am I missing? What's next? What is in my way? And it comes down to them not looking at their bodies, right? They're not looking at their bodies, well, oh, I'm just this or I'm just that. What am I missing? How do I get to the next step? And that shows progression, like in their yoga journey. And it goes beyond the body.
Oh,
Yoga
yeah.
goes so far beyond the body.
I almost want to say it actually excludes the body
Yeah.
in a lot of ways because I will sum it up by saying this for me that um as a yoga instructor with the experience of having my own personal practice
Right.
and the knowledge that I have through 7 years of teaching, which isn't a lot compared to a lot, but I love to research and I love to learn more all the time. So I'm constantly trying to learn more.
Right.
So what I can say in the experience that I have when someone comes in and wants to talk about their physical body being a hindrance, I care less about what's happening in your physical body. I could care less what it looks like. I understand there are some injuries that you need to work around. So I'm not trying to discredit that. I don't care what weight you are.
Right.
I don't care if you've never lifted weights in your
Right.
life. I don't care how strong you think you are. When you try to tell me I can't do something because of X, Y, and Z, unless it is an injury that's in your body, I discredit everything else you just said. because I'm looking at the inside. Energetically, what's happening? Because 9 times out of 10, that's what's stopping you from what you are trying to get
Oh, for sure.
is energetically in the body.
Confidence, the ability to fail, releasing expectations.
Yeah.
Oh, it should look like this, or I don't look like my neighbor. Like, yeah, screw all that. Like, it just, you are your own person.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to look different, and that's fine. And we shouldn't, social media and the world does all the comparing for us. We don't need to do any more. It's done enough. We really need to come to ourselves, loving every inch of ourselves, literally, and meeting ourselves on our mat as we are today.
Come as we are. You can start right there.
Start right there and build on that. You don't, oh, well, I want to be this. Cool. Leave that outside the door because that's not where we are today. Or I was this. Leave it outside the door. We don't need it. Where are you today? And that's how we practice. We practice in the moment, the present moment, and nowhere else. And I feel like whenever you get that, that's when you're able to really work on some things physically in your asanas, in your practice, if you want to try whatever, and also internally. So, and to close this out, I'm going to share a story that we kind of talked about, and that'll lead us into our me and you the next time, which will be in 2 weeks. It sounds like Matt is our mirror is going to be our next one. So Tuesday, I came in and I'm very emotional. Cried literally. I'm trying to make it to where no one can see or hear me.
And I.
Yeah. And well, like I was crying, I was just really just upset. And I'm not even upset, just really processing the other 8 limbs of yoga while in these asanas. And man, I tried to get into pension. I couldn't. And then, man, I got so frustrated. It did, yeah. And then, you know what? I got into child's pose and you came and assisted me, and I felt safe. I felt so safe. I felt, you touched me. I felt loved, and grounded. You're, I'm here. I'm here in this space. I'm nowhere else. I'm right here. I'm not in the past. Release it. Stop living there. Come back to now in the present and who you are right now. And that's what you did for me. Whether you know it or not, that's what you did. You grounded me down. And man, I went back up into my pension. I got it. And shocking. Energetically, like I was just, okay, I released it. I let go of that possessiveness. And that's no longer for me to hold. None of that is no longer mine to hold. And that I just really needed to get it out. And that's just, it wasn't my body, it wasn't, oh, well, I'm not strong enough today.
Because you did it the day before.
I did, yeah, I do it so many times. And it's just sometimes where I am today, energetically, I'm just not, it's just not it. And that's okay. And that's okay.
Learning to be okay with it, though, is half the battle.
Right. Because, our body, we might not look the way we want to look. We might not feel the way we want to feel. Our bodies might not be in the way that they want to be. We might not be where we want to be mentally, but it's all okay as long as we're
listening.
Yeah. Let go of the noise and just show up as you are.
Yeah.
And that's just, it's so much easier done than said.
Oh, yeah.
Or so much easier said than done.
You said it backwards.
I did say that. It's not easy.
That's a great place to close out.
Yeah.
So, episode 5. We did it. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Next week, guest speaker, just FYI. And then we'll be back.
Yeah. I'm going to my favorite island. I'll be gone.
Yeah.
I'll be fine. I'll be thinking of you, though. I'll be thinking of all of you.
I'm so glad you get to go, though.
I know. And if I had great Wi-Fi, I would totally do like a Zoom or something. But
no, I enjoy that island.
Yeah. I'll be on the beach with
beach.
So. All right. Till next time, my friends. Bye-bye.